wrong with you? Are you a faggot or something?
Well, folks, it's the best time of the year, that being Christmas. So Merry Christmas Eve, or in fact, Merry Christmas by the time this video releases, because as I'm working on this video, it's Christmas Eve, and I just thought I'd go ahead and get this video out. It's kind of like a last minute thing, so this video might be a lot shorter than a lot of my other videos, but who knows, I may go on rambling about this shit, because there is quite a bit to talk about pertaining to the Avengers Doomsday trailer. But regardless of that, this is going to be sort of my Christmas special altogether. It's something I just thought to, make of, or just something to do a video on, because there's quite a bit we need to talk about with this recent Avengers teaser featuring Steve Rogers, aka the real Captain America. Sorry, Sam Wilson ain't got shit on Captain America. Okay, he needs to go back to being the Falcon, and I know everyone's gonna get pissed off. Actually, it's not even everyone. It's like a very minor group of people that complain about everything, that cry about everything, that have completely broken the Marvel fandom, or just comic book movies in general. Okay, Sam Wilson is not Captain America. He is Falcon. He has agency as Falcon, not as Captain America. Okay, when he became Captain America, that was a character demotion, not a promotion. But I don't want to get too ahead of myself here, but before we get into today's topic for this Christmas special, even though it really has nothing to do with Christmas altogether, but I want to get you guys in the Christmas spirit, just have some fun. No, don't take yourself so seriously. Sit back, enjoy some hot cocoa or coffee, and don't watch the Polar Express. You need to watch this video instead. Alright, hold off on watching Stranger Things or any other movie that's out in cinemas right now. You need to watch this video, because that's what it's all about. But before I get into all of today's topics, or just today's topic, singular, I want you guys to do your due diligence, like and subscribe to the channel, because you are not going to want to miss out on this certified banger holiday content. Yes, that's right. Today's a festive day. We don't take shit from all these other holidays like fucking Hanukkah, Winter Solstice, Kwanzaa, fucking made up ass holiday. Fuck you. It's Christmas. So if you're a Christmas respecter and you know it's the only holiday that matters, go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe, and comment down below once the video is over. Now, with all that being said, we need to discuss the Avengers Doomsday teaser. Now, to preface this entire video, I'm just going to keep playing the trailer in the background, because I don't really give a shit to edit throughout this video, because I'm kind of doing this at the last minute. I wanted to get something out to you guys, so forgive me for the lack of editing in the background, but I take it most of y'all are going to listen to what I have to say anyways without really watching the video, so I'm not too worried about that. I think y'all can grant me some flexibility with how I make this video. But what I want to go ahead and preface is the way I started this video by showing those retarded ass nerds. I think they're called the Escape Podcast or whatever. They're those two cringe guys that talk about anything comic book movie related or anything movie related, and they have these shitty hot takes and they think it's so funny. It's those kind of people that are really mad right now about this overall Doomsday teaser, calling this movie, nostalgia bait. They're really forgetting about phases 4 and 5 or whatever of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The reason I'm highlighting those weirdos is because they are the bane of my existence. Those kind of people just ruin everything for everyone, especially so-called comic book purists. Y'all are annoying as fuck. Nobody likes you, and I think with the recent release of this teaser, the amount of traction it's been getting just kind of shows you guys what that y'all don't live in the real world. Okay, the internet is not the real world. Twitter's not the real world. Neither is TikTok. So with that being said, fuck every one of these nerds, and especially fake ass nerds who think they know everything, and just Google search every little topic from like anything comic book related or anything cinematic related. Not even think outside of cape shit. They think they're experts on everything, and they're not. But I only bring that up is because I saw the amount of people that were complaining about Steve Rogers returning as Captain America, because a lot of these people said that, it's nostalgia bait. Marvel is running out of ideas. Marvel is getting desperate. Bring back woke. I literally saw some motherfuckers say bring back woke by insinuating that they want shows like She-Hulk, the Miss Marvel, or like movies like The Marvels, Eternals, and what else was there? Shang-Chi or whatever. They wanted those type of weirdo characters to lead the Avengers going forward, to lead the cinematic universe going forward. But unfortunately for them, they did not watch those shows, and those shows did not get enough traction, and mainly for the fact because those shows were cringe, especially recently Ironheart. That show is dog shit. And same with Echo, another dog shit show. A lot of these characters just could not hold a candlestick to the original Avengers members, or just the OG Avenger movies. These newer characters that they tried introducing, a lot of those entries in the Marvel Cinematic Universe fell flat on its face, and now you woke-ass, retarded-ass fans are dealing with the repercussions of that. You didn't show up to the movies, you didn't watch the TV shows, and now the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or Kevin Feige more specifically, is in a very, tight spot where he feels the need to bring back a lot of the OG cast from the Avengers movies, because I think even he realizes, he probably watches some of my videos, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I said this a long time ago, or maybe not specifically on this channel, but I always said that the Avengers movies would not really work without any of the OG members, or at least the core members, that being Captain America, Iron Man, or Thor, and sometimes Hulk. You can kind of interchange the two, but it's mainly the main three, that being Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America. If you really don't have any of those three as your core members for these Avengers movies, it's not going to feel the same. It's just going to feel like an entirely different thing, and no one's going to really buy into it, because we were invested with these characters for so many years, and to just basically take them away through like either, on-screen deaths or whatnot, or have them retire their mantle, it really puts the MCU in a very awkward spot, and it left the Feige and company in a very awkward situation with their storytelling, where they were really hoping to bank on Kang the Conqueror to basically become the new Thanos, or be the big bad of these upcoming Marvel phases. And of course, with the Jonathan Majors incident, I'm not even, necessarily pinning that against him, or like saying he was at fault or anything like that. That's not what this video is about. But with those unfortunate circumstances that basically forced him out of the role, and basically caused Feige and company to change the entire storyline with the Marvel Cinematic Universe going forward, and bring in Dr. Doom, or especially Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom, a lot of shit has gone down, and a big mess has been made, and Disney and Marvel are in a very tight spot where they feel they have to, really fix this shit. They got to fix it all together. They got to bring back the OGs. They got to get their bank back. They got to get their money back. They have to be in their bag, is what I'm saying. And I'm sure they're getting really tired of hearing about cape shit fatigue or superhero fatigue from these fake nerds. And, I get that from it, a certain standpoint. I'm sure they're getting really tired of hearing nostalgia bait here and there. But from a business standpoint, I get why they brought back Steve Rogers as Captain America, or just Steve Rogers. I know some people are going to be like, oh no, it's just Steve Rogers. He's not coming back as Captain America. Well, I wouldn't hold your fucking breath on that talking point, because I have a feeling he's going to take his shield back. So don't get too comfortable with yourselves. Do not get too comfortable. And speaking of those weirdos that I'm kind of referring to, I saw a lot of bitch-made people on Twitter complaining about Steve Rogers coming back, and saying that it completely undermines his ending in Endgame, and it completely undermines Sam Wilson's arc as Captain America. And it's like, y'all need to shut the fuck up, number one. Y'all don't know what you're talking about. And two, Sam Wilson is not Captain America. He never has been. He never will be. I don't care if the comics did it. Just because something happens in the comics does not equate to it being good, okay? And I already discussed most of these sort of talking points in a prior video, released earlier this year when I did my review for Captain DEI Brave New Woke, or in another way of putting it, Captain America Brave New World, or Captain America 4. Yeah, that movie, it did okay for the most part. It didn't do that great at the box office, but it was just kind of a mid-movie. And most people, came to the realization that Sam Wilson as Captain America, it just doesn't fit. He's not him. He ain't him. He ain't shit. Now, he is him when he's actually Falcon, and he has an identity, and he can actually be himself, and not in someone else's shadow. But not to regurgitate points I've already made earlier this year, what I want to talk about is the weirdos complaining online about Steve Rogers coming back, and a certain pattern I've noticed from these said people that are complaining. And a lot of these people, I think, reek of broke bitch behavior. Just something about it just reeks of broke bitch. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just their attitude or the way they type online. But you look at all these accounts that were complaining about it. I checked on Twitter because, you know, Elon implemented a feature where you can check people's locations or where an account originates from. And a lot of these people, for whatever reason, they were from the UK. I don't know what's going on over in the UK. I don't know if something is in the water. Y'all just don't like your mayor. I don't know what the fuck it is, but y'all need to like reel it in. Y'all need to stop being buck broken for once, okay? Get your balls back. Stop acting poor. So I don't want to have to call you guys Europors, all right? I don't have to do that. Okay, so just get your balls back. Stop acting poor. Stop acting like a bitch, and just do us all a favor and just log off of your social media accounts. Just do us a favor. And a lot of other people I noticed that were complaining about this from other countries was I noticed some from Nigeria of all places I know, and even Egypt. And it's like, okay, yeah, please stop talking to me right now. Don't tell me how my comic book movies should be or how they should be played out. Y'all don't know shit, okay? Enough of the broke bitch behavior. I'm sick of y'all shit. Just shut up. And then we get to the US where you have all the different, you know, YouTube accounts that, you know, grift off this shit. They love to call every movie slop nowadays, which, by the way, that is a pet peeve of mine. I didn't think it would become that because, you know, I used to use the term slop a lot last year, but now it's being overused. It's the way it's being utilized is just not the same. Y'all are overdoing it, and it's really pissing me off. But you see a lot of these different YouTubers using the term slop, or even nostalgia slop. I saw somebody use that term the other day. I think it was that Jester chick or whatever. I'll put like a picture up here on the screen or whatever. But yeah, I think she used that term or something similar to that. But she's basically insinuating that this movie is just nothing but nostalgia bait, and that Marvel is getting desperate. And I saw multiple other accounts try doing the same thing because they really have nothing to talk about, and they think that Steve Rogers returning is like a desperate move on Marvel's end because nothing else has worked for the most part. And I'll give some credence to that. I do think there is some weight to what they're saying in that regard, but at the same time, like, what did you expect? Honestly, what did you expect? The woke shit inevitably failed. A lot of these broke bitch people didn't show up to the cinemas or watch the shows. So what other choice do they have but to essentially bring back the OGs and, you know, do something interesting in that regard? I was never one of those people that, you know, firmly believe that, you know, Steve Rogers' character arc, like, ultimately concluded in Endgame. I think there were other opportunities to bring that character back if necessary, and I think Avengers Doomsday is one of those instances, and I think the story in Avengers Doomsday is going to revolve around him, you know, basically being at fault for the multiverse saga or whatever. He's the one that causes all these different anomalies when he returns stones, and then he decides to live in the past with Peggy Carter. And I guess him doing that caused some like ripple effect throughout the multiverse, and it inherently causes some sort of cosmic pain to Doctor Doom or whatever. Like, whatever Steve does, it affects Doctor Doom and takes like maybe a loved one of his away or like a child of his. That's what I've heard from so-called leakers, which I'll get into them in just a second. But yeah, I heard something like that, like that's going to be part of the story, and the new Avengers teams and like the Fantastic Four, X-Men, they're all trying to, you know, protect Steve Rogers or try to prevent him from getting killed by Doctor Doom or whatever. I think that's what the movie has going for it, and I think that's actually a rather interesting plot point to consider if that's true. But I think a lot of the people that are pretending to not be excited for Avengers Doomsday, and I even saw some dumbass from Nigeria say that this is going to be the first movie to make $0. Yeah, check again, buddy. I think the numbers say otherwise. But I would see tweets like that and just other people, you know, constantly calling this slop, nostalgia slop, Marvel is dead, Marvel's running out of ideas, all this shit. And then, like, I remember earlier this year, they were complaining about the VFX or whatever, like, the VFX artists not having enough time to do shit. And I already covered this in a prior video, which I'll leave a link down below or just somewhere on this video. But I noticed the amount of inconsistencies from these people because, you know, they'll give a pass to anything else, especially like James Gunn's DCU, which is a disaster right now. You want to talk about slop? I'll give you some slop. Bitch. But yeah, the hatred pertaining to Avengers Doomsday, it doesn't seem very natural in my honest opinion. It really doesn't. And the amount of excuses I see, or the amount of like coping tweets or cope tweets I've seen saying like, oh no, we need to bring back the woke Avengers. We need to bring back She-Hulk and all these other dipshit characters that no one cared about. I saw a lot of that last week when this teaser trailer that I'm showing on screen got leaked, and many other teaser trailers are like descriptions and whatnot. And I saw all those dipshits like just crying on Twitter, just like completely buck broken all over the timeline. It was ridiculous. And I even saw multiple tweets that were very anti-white coded for the most part. It was that kind of level of just absolute fuckery and degeneracy that I kept seeing, because they're afraid that the classically white character is going to take back, you know, his rightful mantle as Captain America. I know, what a crazy concept. But yeah, you just see a lot of those people doing that shit. And then to kind of move on from like the dipshit haters or the people that have really nothing real to complain about, they just have words such as slop to describe every little thing they don't like. Another thing I wanted to touch upon before I close this video are the leakers or the scoopers. And I'm honestly, I don't know if it's just me, but I am getting so sick of these people who leak everything and ruin all the surprises for everyone, especially on social media. It's gotten worse throughout the years where like you just know all the special moments that are going to take place, you know, all the different descriptions for certain plot elements and whatnot. You essentially just know the movie before you even watch it. And I don't like that. And a lot of these scoopers that cover, you know, let's say the Marvel Cinematic Universe or anything comic book related or even video game related, like Fortnite, for example, a lot of these people are not passionate about what they talk about. It's just a complete grift. And this has become extremely evident with Avengers Doomsday and all the different leaks, supposedly, from these different scoopers online. And a lot of these people aren't even getting certain details right, like what the third Avengers teaser is going to be. First, they said it was going to be a teaser focusing solely on Doomsday. It was going to have horror elements. And then they switched up to, oh, it's actually going to feature the X-Men or the Fantastic Four and the Wakandans. And it's like, can you motherfuckers make up your minds? Like, what are we doing here? Like, isn't it your job to get like all these juicy details and whatnot? And you can't even get that right. Like, just get the fuck out of my face at that point. Don't tell me anything. Just get off. Log off, please. Just log off. And one final point pertaining to leakers and scoopers. A lot of those guys, for whatever reason, I've talked about this before, but the way they talk like they're thugs or whatever, they came out of an ESL class from some community college or whatnot. They talk like this. They're like, hey, shit, bro, you're not gonna believe it. Bro is gonna show up in this movie. Bro is gonna do that. Hey, yo, bruh. Hey, yo, bruh. Hey, yo, bruh. It's like, can you speak the English language? Like, if you're gonna step on American soil or, you know, come to a first world country where English is like the primary language, can you at least speak it properly and like show some class? Like, I noticed this trend everywhere in the world, and it's just not even in first world countries, but it's just like a lack of decorum, I guess is what I'm getting at. Just a complete lack of decorum. Bring back decorum. I don't want to hear you assholes talking like thugs, especially my comment section. If you're talking like that, just log off. Unsubscribe. Go watch another video. Go watch fucking Candace Owens, of all people. I'm sure you can relate to her with all the fucking ebonics and shit and insane conspiracy theories that don't even relate to one another. But that's really besides the point, and I'm kind of getting off topic here. But last point I want to make is just what are my overall thoughts on this teaser trailer? I think it does what it needs to do. It just basically tells you Steve Rogers is back. He's living his life wherever he is, and in like the 1950s or whatever, you know, he's living with Peggy Carter. They have a child with each other. Paints this really nice picture that he's a father now, and like, you know, if something bad happens, the stakes are going to be really high because he has a kid. I'm sure Dr. Doom is probably going to be after him and his family or whatever. For whatever reason, you know, whatever leak has been put out, whether Doom wants to kill Steve Rogers or Steve Rogers is on the run from Dr. Doom, whatever the case is, we just know Steve Rogers is back for good, or not necessarily for good. We don't know how long he's going to be back, but he is returning officially, and it's cool that this teaser trailer confirms that. And we're supposed to be getting multiple other teaser trailers, like one with Thor, and then I guess it's the X-Men if the leakers can make up their fucking minds. But we are supposed to be getting multiple teaser trailers, and then I guess one final teaser trailer that displays Doom in all of his glory, or like an official look at Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom. But yeah, like there's not a whole lot to talk about with this teaser trailer other than like external factors such as the feedback that this teaser trailer has gotten, or just the overall discourse around Avengers Doomsday as a whole. There's a lot of discussion in that department, but in terms of like what this teaser trailer just shows off, like, you know, with Steve Rogers coming to his home, holding his baby or his child, there's only so much you can get from that. And like, you know, where's this movie going to go from here? What's the story going to be about? Because we really don't know what the entire story is about, or like a general plot synopsis of Avengers Doomsday, but I am excited to find out what it's going to be and where the Russo brothers are going to take this story going forward. And if you can't tell, I am actually excited for Avengers Doomsday, unlike these other posers out here, all these fake ass fans that don't know shit about anything. And maybe I'm into nostalgia slop, I don't know, maybe I am, but I am excited to see these characters returning, especially the X-Men characters. And it's not even so much that it's like nostalgia or whatever. I'm just happy to see someone like Cyclops returning, or James Marsden's Cyclops, because I felt like they didn't really utilize him well in the X-Men movies for the most part. And I hope they do something great with his character and many of the other X-Men characters that didn't really have a whole lot of time to shine in those movies, or just weren't given a lot of proper screen time. I think this movie might give some justice to those characters, or at least give us some closure to where their characters had left off from those X-Men movies from the Fox era of those movies. But yeah, I am genuinely excited to see how this movie plays out, and like an official trailer for Avengers Doomsday to give an overall general feel for what it's going to be like to actually be excited for a Marvel movie for once, you know, to see people show up to the cinemas. But yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for this overall section of the video. I'm excited to see what the Russo brothers are cooking up with Avengers Doomsday. It's good to see them in the mix for once, and just to see what ideas they've brought to the table, especially with the writers they brought along from the previous Avengers movies. I just want to see what they've come up with for this overall story, and like why Robert Downey Jr. is Dr. Doom. So yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting going forward, and, you know, see how what Steve Rogers' role is going to be in this movie, if he's going to be a major role or relatively not necessarily like he's the main character per se, but I think he'll have a major part in the story overall. But I'm excited to see how that's all going to play out, and how all these other different teams like the Fantastic Four, X-Men, and even the new Avengers and Wakandans, I just want to see how all these different stories are going to overlap, and how they're going to conclude this multiverse saga with, I think it's going to end with Secret Wars or whatever. But yeah, I think it's going to be very exciting going forward. I'm not buying the hatred for this. I'm not going to call this nostalgia slop or slop in general, because I think that's extremely lazy, and that's not really highlighting what's wrong with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. If you really want to highlight what's wrong with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, look at its fandom and the type of people that are basically making up the fandom, or lack thereof. But yeah, that's going to do it for this section of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this overall video, my overall coverage of the Avengers Doomsday teaser, or maybe the discourse around it, to be more accurate, because that's pretty much what I covered in this video, not so much the teaser itself, because there's only so much you can talk about. It's like, what, a minute and 16 seconds? But regardless of that, I want to hear from you guys now. What did you think of the Avengers Doomsday teaser? And what do you think about the discourse online? Do you think the hatred for it is real, or do you think it's fake? Are you excited for this movie, or are you not? I want to hear from you guys in the comments below. And if you liked this video, well, go ahead and drop a like. And if you want to see more content like this, hit the subscribe button, because you are not going to miss out on the certified banger content. But if you don't do any of those things, fuck you. No, I'm just kidding. Kidding. That's not the Christmas spirit. The Christmas spirit would be to wish you guys a very Merry Christmas. Let's put our differences aside, whether you agree with me or not. I think we could all come together and just say, let's have a holly jolly Merry Christmas, all right? I think we all deserve it. We worked our asses off throughout this year, and especially me, of all people, because I started from, like 300 subscribers earlier this year, and we're almost to 1,000. That takes a lot of fucking work, guys, okay? And I do it for you, even though you don't deserve it. Not kidding again, all jokes, but I wish you guys a very Merry Christmas, whether you like my content or not. I really wish you guys the best. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope you get to spend this day with your family, friends, and whoever. Go do something fun, go do something festive, because that's what Christmas is all about. And it's also about, celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ himself. That being the most important part about Christmas altogether. But with all that being said, folks, I really hope you enjoyed today's video, and I really hope to catch you guys in the next one. So, see you later, Merry Christmas, and bye for now.